Hello, welcome to another session of BlueTips. Today we're going to talk about attendance in BlueLine 2, but before we start with that, I want to ask a few changes we're doing for our Blue Fridays in general. We're expanding it just a little bit. First of all, we're going to keep doing our BlueTips at 1 o'clock until 1:15. Oh, which reminds me, you gotta start the timer. Okay, there's the timer. From 1 until 1:15 is the BlueTips. Then we're going to add a new feature called BlueLine Express. The idea of this is it's a half-hour training session. Initially right now it's basics of BlueLine, but basically whoever shows up kind of dictates what we're going to talk about. So on that one, again, it's just a quick half-hour training session, topic of choice on BlueLine. That's going to occur across the hall in L102 in the classroom. And then we're still doing what we're calling Blue Assist now from whenever BlueTips get done until 4, which is our traditional drop-in support for all things academic technology-wise. Just so you know, next week on the, the day before, the 30th, we are not going to have a Blue Friday. It's the day before 3-day weekend. I think some people want to get out of here, so we will not be doing Blue Friday next week. So, again, today's session, BlueLine Attendance. It's not the NSA, but it can be used to track people. So, with that, let me get out of these slides here for a minute and get over to a course in BlueLine. I've got a course here I'm going to show you and show you how to set up and use the attendance tool within here. So this is a brand new course. And if I want to use attendance, the first thing I have to do is I need to enable the attendance tab in there. So if I go to my settings tab and then I click on navigation, this is where you can control what tabs are visible. Down at the bottom you'll see that the attendance one is disabled by default. If I actually want to use that, I need to drag it up to make it visible anywhere in here for my course, and then save that page. At this point, we now are going to see attendance over here on the left-hand side. That, by the way, is visible only to you, the instructor. Students do not see that tab, but it does need to be there so that you can use it to take attendance. Okay. So at this point, let me actually click on that, and let's see what happens. The first time you do that, you might see a little window pop up saying roll call wants to access your account. Go ahead and click OK. I've already done that, so it doesn't show up for me. But what I do see now is a list of all the students in my class. If they've uploaded pictures to it, you can see the nice pictures next to the attendance tool there. And it is showing today's date. Yes, I'm actually recording this, not on last Friday, but this is a re-recording. So we're seeing Thursday, August 29th is the date of this. If I want to mark everyone present for today, it's as simple as clicking that button. Okay? If I want to jump to another day, let's say yesterday I forgot to mark the attendance, I can just use my back arrow. And again, mark all as present. It's that simple. Now if someone's gone, after I mark present, let's say that Andrew is gone, I can click that check mark for him individually. The red indicates he was absent, or the yellow-orange, I guess it is, indicates late or tardy. We'll get more to that in a minute. And last, I can click it one more time, that unselects it. I've also got the unmark all option. So we go ahead and mark a few more days here. It's always easier to show things with some data. Mark Andrew gone once. We'll mark him late one day. You can also jump to days by clicking on the calendar icon, in which case now I can jump all the way back to, let's say, last Friday. And you'll mark all present. Andrew was late again. And it's a nice way you can mark those. Now, when I first started this, there were no assignments in the Assignments tab in this course. As soon as I marked the first person present or in attendance, it created an assignment in my assignment area called Roll Call Attendance. And that's also in the gradebook now. It gives it a default value of 100 and just puts it in the assignments area. If you're not planning to actually use the attendance for grading, it's simply meant to be record keeping for your own purposes, you're going to want to go in there and possibly make the point value 0. Or if you are grading, you don't want it to be 100 points, go ahead and change that. You can also put it into a different assignment group to affect the weighting. Okay? One other thing you should know about that, while students can't access this Assignments tab and see their they can't access their Attendance tab. They do, each time you take attendance, get a notification that their grade has changed for that assignment. In fact, in grades, it'll show there's like a blue 1 that it's updated. If you don't want them to see that, if you don't want them notifications or let them see what their attendance grade is, you can always go to the grades area and mute the assignment. What muting an assignment does is, first of all, it hides it from the grade book, so students don't see that grade. It doesn't actually count for anything while it's muted. And it shuts down the notifications related to that grade in the grade book. So again, if the attendance is really more for your purposes, I might consider muting it. Let's go back now that you've seen how it works in the gradebook and as an assignment. Let's go look again at taking attendance. I'm going to show you an alternative method of doing this. So our default view is we are seeing the list of students. If I click on the class link, you are going to see a seating chart link. And I've already actually built a seating chart in this class, so you can see how people are there. Let me go to a day I haven't taken attendance on. There's one. So again, it's as simple as I can mark all present, or if I click on people again, goes to the absent, the tardy, or the not marked. Very similar to the list view. The big difference is you can put them in a seating chart. You can drag people around by clicking on the Edit Seating Chart button. And that's how you initially set up your seating chart. Normally the students start out in this left-hand column and you drag them to where their seats are. So again, that's why you can use the seating chart as an alternative method of taking attendance. Now let me go back just to the list view and show you one last feature, maybe two. You have the ability to see kind of a summary by clicking this More button. So if I do that, I can see for Andrew that he was present 3 times, late 2 times, and absent once. This is showing the current thing for Friday, August 30th. This is calculating attendance average for him as 77%. Well, if you want to know where that's coming from, present counts as 100%, absent counts as a 0. Late is the wild card here. In your gradebook settings, your attendance settings, if I go here and say roll call settings, you can specify what percent they get for being late. So in this case, it's 80%. If I change that to be, well, they get a 90% if they're late. And now we look at Andrew. We're still seeing that. I think actually the way that works is it only affects future ones, so make sure you change those settings ahead of time trying to use that. But that's where that grade's coming from and how that would affect it. Another thing you can do is you can use badges in your course for your attendance. Students don't see these, but it's a way for you to notate something special within the attendance record. So for instance, let's add a badge. And I can do this when I'm on anyone's name here. It's not just for Andrew, even though I'm under his More button. If I say Add Badge, and let's say Good Participation. And let's give that a thumbs up icon. I can pick a color. Let's do red. And now that is a badge inside my course I can award to people. Let's add another one. And this time let's say Poor Participation. We'll give it a thumbs down. We'll also make it red. Okay. So now that I've added these badges, whenever I'm taking attendance, let's go to a different person to illustrate this. Let's go to Kathy Moore. And for Friday, August 30th, if she participated good in class, I can go ahead and mark that. And see how now in the summary it says she has 1 good participation. If I go now to Saturday, as if we were having class on Saturday, again, I can do the same thing. Under Kathy, I can give her another 1. And it starts to keep track of those. So it allows just another criteria that you can add to your attendance area to track things, good or bad. Or not even good or bad, just neutral. Other examples, you might use it for excused absences. Or if someone has they're an athlete, they're going to be gone. You want to notate that. Don't necessarily want to count them present or absent, but you want to have some sort of notation for that day. That's one way you can do it with badges. Last thing I am going to show. You have the ability to do reports on your class. Like I said, seeing the summary for Andrew, I can do that with the More button. But if I want to see a summary for everyone, what I probably want to do is go to the attendance report, specify a date range. So you might pick I'll put it back to August 15th through the end of August. You can pick the whole semester to do this at the end of the semester. And if I click Run Report now, it's going to get a report and email it to this email address. I could have it be someone else's email address too if I want to send it to another instructor in the course or maybe an interested party for whatever reason. And it's going to send it as a CSV file, which opens in Excel. And it's going to have basically 1 entry per student per day. So it's going to be a lot of entries. But then once you have it in Excel, if you know how to do things like sort your tables, you can sort by username, you can do things like subtotals, have things totaled up, but you do get that complete attendance record then for your entire course, all within one report. I think that's all I have about the attendance. Let's just talk again, we don't even talk about it. As I mentioned, next week on the 30th, we are not having Blue Friday, but we will be back the week after that with another topic for Blue Friday. And until then, have a good day.